up, and somebody's got to go for help. I'm going to run.
Thanks.
Just let you know.
Well, I mean...
I'm coming back with help.
Oh, well, that's good. Well, you know me anyway. I'm a little scrappy thing, so I'd be biting the shit out of their ankles
you really
and stuff.
would be like a little pissed off spider monkey.
People just don't know me, do they?
No, they don't. She'll crawl up one side and down the other. Motherfucker, you better ask somebody.
Okay, so back to our story.
Okay, but that was a good side story.
I'm just saying that I totally
have experienced
something similar
at the very beginning.
In that I have been taken, like blindsided.
They rolled up on you.
Yeah, that I've been blindsided while I was having a moment with my boyfriend on a sidewalk.
A surprise attack.
Yeah.
That's happened. Humans have always done that to each other.
And it is fucking scary.
Because when the other party's not in that same mentality as what you're bringing, you know what I mean? Like, we're going to kick ass, we're going to do all this stuff, and it's totally random like that shit. The other people's totally caught off guard, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude was athletic and probably could kick some, you know what I'm saying? He's probably strong and all that stuff, and instantly taking control of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was a baseball player. You can imagine he was probably in good shape.
Carpenter.
Right.
But when they roll up on you like that, you don't have a chance.
This is all happening like somewhere in the 9 o'clock hour. They're taken to this rental house on Chipman Street. Well, it's around 10 p.m., a little after 10, that, you know, the friends at this party are like, okay, where are these guys, man?
They're probably supposed to bring the reefer.
They said they're coming over. Where are they? Like, what's going on?
They're going to get me some Bartles and James.
We knew they were going to grab dinner, but they should be here by now.
Right.
So they're calling, texting, you know, trying to figure out where their friends are. Hey, where are you guys at? Trying to figure out, like, are they going to come to the party?
They expected them.
And got no response.
Okay.
Around 11, two of Chris's buddies drove over to the Washington Ridge apartment complex, thinking like, okay, well, did they decide to...
Because they were going to leave there and come to the party, right?
You know, are they in there getting it on? Like, what are they doing? You know, we're
Need some help, broke down.
Yeah, what's going on? They see Chris's truck in the parking lot, but they notice that Channon's 4Runner is missing. Okay, so maybe they went out to dinner, changed plans, went to a movie instead. I mean, there's still that window of like, okay.
Maybe she's like, drive me over there in that alley and I'll, you know,
I think these are classy kids. They're not alley.
I'm just kidding.
They're not alley
I was talking about,
like you.
I was talking about hopscotch.
Yeah. Around 12:30 a.m., Shannon's father got a phone call from her. Now, she explained that she was not going to spend the night at this party or at her friend's house, and that she was going to be home sometime between like 2 a.m. and 3 a.m.
Okay.
Later cell phone records would show that this call came in from the area of Cherry Street in Knoxville.
So they've got her, they make her call home and say this to her father.
Yeah. Hey, I'll be home in a couple hours.
What the hell?
And you know Cherry Street.
Yes, earlier we talked about that. Yeah, I used to put up fences, as you well know, and we went to Knoxville a lot. One time we had a pretty good sized job there on Cherry Street, and when we pulled off the interstate, we was just like, yeah, hold up. You know what I'm saying?
Sketchy neighborhood.
Well, yeah, and I would never judge, you know, anybody, like if they're looking poor or, you know, poor looking cars or anything like that. But
because we grew up poor.
Yeah, because I'll be like, I'm my people.
Yeah.
I'm home. But no, yeah, it was just rough, like real rough, kind of where you used to feel the energy. Like, people around here would kick your ass or don't mess around.
Well, you were kind of saying it was an area where, like, if you were working on the fence, you kind of kept your tools and everything right there. You could because if you turned a corner, your shit was gone.
If you leave your stuff out front and go out back for 5 minutes, all your stuff out front's gone.
And you were kind of looking over your shoulder, even though you were working on this fence crew with several large fellas.
Yeah.
You guys were all kind of, like, watching each other's back.
Yeah.
It's just sketchy.
That's how rough. It's really rough. For Knoxville, I mean, shit, it's just, you know, Knoxville's got rough spots. That's got to be one of them.
The next day, Channon's parents get a call from her job saying that she didn't show up for work.
Okay, so the responsible young adult who's doing everything right and is incredible doesn't show up for work. Now they're going to
Not to mention, you know, she had told her parents she was going to be home
at 3
in the early morning hours. She's not home. They get this call that she didn't show up for work. They're concerned.
I'm sure it's out of character.
Well, it was on the same day, this is January the 7th, that Christopher's body was discovered near railroad tracks between 9th and Cherry Street in Knoxville.
Yeah.
A man named Roy Thurman, he was an employee with Norfolk Southern Railroad. He was actually like a train engineer. He's out working on these tracks, doing whatever train engineers do.
Yeah, there may be a good-sized train yard right in that area, being a, tri-state area or tri-county area.
Yeah, so he's out and about doing his job when he stumbles across a body. Christopher. Okay, this is where things are going to start to get graphic and brutal.
They're pretty rough, guys. So if you're sensitive in any way about any of that, just listen to another episode right now.
Well, because this kind of goes above and beyond the normal true crime where we just sort of wash over cases a bit. This is pretty graphic, but I feel like we need to talk about exactly what happened so everyone can understand the gravity of this case.
This is their story, and it deserves to be told. Yeah, definitely.
Christopher had been bound by a belt around the ankles. His left wrist was tied up with a shoestring. A sweatshirt was wrapped around his head. He had a sock stuffed into his mouth, which was tied up with another shoestring. So, like a gag.
Yeah, probably one of those choking gags.
He had been blindfolded and stripped naked from the waist down. He was shot in the back of the head, the neck, and in his back, and the body had been set on fire.
What the actual fuck?
Yeah.
Who would do that to another human?
Maniacs?
Someone they don't even know. This is not even about a vendetta or revenge.
Cruel. This whole case is cruelty.
This is the type of cruelty I've talked about when you get these people together. It's like they're trying to one-up each other with the cruelty. That's why you got like this mishmash of idea. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like you can tell it's more than one person what was done to it.
It's like a pissing contest of like who can be
the bigger piece of shit.
Yes.
Who can be the bigger shitbird.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
It would later be revealed that he was sexually assaulted.
Yeah, there you go.
Because, he was naked from the waist down. He'd been sexually assaulted. Now, court records, testimony are going to show that they think Christopher's death was seemingly quick. And what I mean by that is that he was killed within a few hours of the kidnapping.
Okay.
Probably within the first 2 or 3 hours that they've taken him. This is what they do to him.
My God.
And you'll see why. Because essentially, and we were kind of talking about this before we got started with the case, they were just trying to get him out of the way.
Right.
Because they really wanted to focus on Channon.
And this is what they quickly do to someone. All the horrible shit they did to Christian.
You mean Christopher?
Christopher. This is what they do to someone. All the horrible stuff they've done to him.
Yeah.
Quickly. I mean, it's just horrible. Who even thinks this shit up?
I don't know.
If you was hanging with someone and they said to do any one thing that was done to that poor man, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I'm a dark humor, we're dark humor and kind of oddities and death and graveyards where we went and relaxed today. But this is real. I could never do this shit to another human.
No.
It's crazy.
No. If somebody comes at me like, hey, we're going to go torture this person, I'd be like, no.
I think I'm out.
I'm too lazy for that.
Yeah, and then a whole lot of stuff's going to happen. Somebody's going to talk.
Can I wear my sweatpants?
It's going to be a whole thing.
Well, after Christopher's body is discovered, of course, Channon's parents, worried is not even a good measure to describe these people. I mean, they are frantic.
They are literally beside themselves.
A parent's worst nightmare. My heart goes out to these people.
It's almost worse for them, honestly, than his parents, because he's already been, he's that, but they have their daughter.
Well, there's some finality to closure with...
And they don't know what they're still doing to her after they've done this horrible stuff to him.
And she's just missing.
Oh, my God.
File a missing persons report, and luckily, it's taken seriously, and especially with everything that's happening.
Yeah.
Well, Channon's family is out searching for her, along with the police, when they find her SUV on Glider Avenue, which happens to be very close to Chipman Street. Inside the vehicle, investigators find that it's littered with Newport cigarettes. And the couple didn't smoke. So they know that...
This is likely the perpetrators.
This is someone who's been in this vehicle, probably connected to this crime.
Right. I'm going to go ahead and tell you none of their friends smoke Newports either.
Oh, yeah?
No.
How do you know?
I don't want to ruin anything.
Oh, so the vehicle also, I should mention, is really muddy inside. Like the floor mats and the carpet are caked with mud. And this is unusual because Channon was the kind of girl that she kept this vehicle in great condition. It's, probably her, maybe driving him around, a couple of girlfriends. I mean, this is a nice car, and she's keeping
it's right there in Knoxville, too. You don't typically see a big bunch of mud, you know what I mean?
She's keeping this vehicle looking nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice car. She takes good care of it. She's a good girl. This mud, I mean, her family's like, yeah, she's not going to be tracking this kind of mud into this vehicle. And what they do find inside the SUV is an envelope which has fingerprints. And they're pretty quickly able to identify those fingerprints as belonging to a man named Lamarcus Davidson.
Okay.
Of course, he's got a record, so he pops up with this criminal history. Boom,
that's what
here
happens.
He is. After a quick search, they find that Davidson has this rental property over on Chipman Street. Now, I'm not sure exactly if he owned this rental property or if they just knew he was renting this house.
Yeah. Well, with the quick search like that, it sounds like he might actually have owned it, because I don't know if they, you know what I mean?
Well, but
if
I'm thinking
have a
if
good list
he's
of renters.
in trouble, because I'm thinking, if memory serves, like he had gotten out of jail or prison, like
they may have just
pretty
consulted his last known address.
So I'm thinking, well, maybe he's on probation or something.
Right.
I mean, they've got this address in the system for him. So again, I'm kind of not clear on whether he owned it, because one thing said he owned it, but then other things said it was a rental property.
Okay.
So I'm not
That's a little confusing.
100% sure.
But it's a house they thought they could find him.
Just want to clarify. Well, when police show up at Davidson's house, they find the home empty. No one's there. They search the property. Investigators make a gruesome discovery. I'm sure as a cop, you see all kinds of crazy shit.
But you got that handful that really.
But this has got to be one of those things that is disturbing and traumatic, and you're probably never the same after
that
you see
makes
something
you
like
become
this.
an alcoholic and commit suicide type of stuff.
Well, what they find inside the home is Channon's body stuffed into a trash can.
Could you imagine?
No.
As a cop or emergency personnel?
No. Not at all. What they also find is like a mountain of evidence. They find Channon's iPod in the house. They find clothing that, of course, she was wearing and that she also had in the vehicle. She had a box of clothes, apparently things she was going to toss out, like donate to a Goodwill or some kind of like thrift store. So she had this box of clothes in there, and they find some items that, I mean, I guess her family would later say, oh yeah, those were some jeans and sweaters she was going to get rid of.
Yeah, all of us got that Goodwill bag in the car that rolls around back there for 6 months until you happen by a Goodwill.
Until we finally remember that we need to take it.
Oh yeah, this is back there.
So she had these clothes in the vehicle. They find her gray purse, which she was carrying the previous evening. She was wearing a pair of pink high heels on the night she went missing. Those were in the house.
Okay, so this is a lot of different stuff they found in the house.
They find 2 of Christopher's baseball caps. So I'm assuming maybe he was wearing one. That maybe there was one in her vehicle that he'd left in there before.
Okay.
They find her camera. They find Chris's driver's license and a pay stub. So it's almost like they had rummaged through his wallet.
Or glove box.
So,
Right. Console.
Well, it's her vehicle. So
but still, she might have it. Hey, girl, I'll hand my check over.
I know. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I like new things.
I know.
They find a CD. They find some of her personal items.
That's a lot of stuff, though.
Right. So, because she had spent the night at a girlfriend's apartment,
his house. It's in
she has an overnight bag in the SUV. So, they even find her personal items like her toothbrush, her toiletries,
every fucking
her
thing.
cosmetics, like everything she had taken to spend the night at a friend's house.
Okay.
And if she's anything like me, then you know she packed everything but the kitchen sink.
She had a good bag. She had one bag. It was a good one.
So, they had all of the stuff
in his house,
linking themselves to this couple laying around the house. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're not exactly dealing with the most intelligent of criminals here.
It would seem. And they also found a whole notebook full of pages that said, they were here, we killed them here, this is where the crime happened.
I mean, essentially.
Well,
I mean, that's the thing. These are not brilliant people, but they are cruel people.
Very cruel.
The medical examiner concluded that Christopher had been sodomized by an object and raped by a person. Police believe the sexual assault happened inside the rental house And then they dumped him by the railroad tracks. Like, they dumped his body there, and that they tried to set him on fire on the railroad tracks.
Right.